Midnight Soul Serum.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to Midnight Soul Serum. I'm your host, Mac Black, and we're going to talk a little bit today about astral travel, dreams, and binaural beats. So, um, about, you know, before I get into my experience, so I've always had this theory that when we dream, we're not actually having a dream, we're actually in a different plane, dimension, reality, time, whatever you want to use to associate with it. Say, for instance, like there's a resort I go to about 3 times a year. I've been so much now. I've never seen this resort, pictures of it. I've yet to even see the name of it. I just know what the beaches look like. I know what the restaurants are around it, the rides, everything. That's how often I've been to this place. There's another place I go to. It's like this waterfall. It comes over. A lot of people come there and they swim in the clear water in the pool underneath the waterfall. And if you follow the little river, the little creek, and you go around, you come into these ponds where like the fishing is amazing. I go there about 4 times a year. The last time I was there, I actually got to see a good friend of mine who is no longer with us in this plane. So, you know, with that being said, it's like it stands to argue, because sometimes you'll have a dream, you'll wake up and you feel like you haven't slept at all, and while you remember the dream, and you're like, man, but I was asleep. I'm tired. I'm sore. So this is my theory on it. I have these dreams way too often to where I'm at a job that I used to work at that I don't have to be at anymore. I'm retired. I don't work anymore. I don't have to do that. And every time I go to this job, the same people that work there are there. They've aged, like as if it's an ongoing situation. And when I explain to them, like, hey, I don't have to be here. This isn't. I'm retired. I don't have to work. They look at me like I've lost my mind. Everybody's like, man, what are you talking about? What's wrong with you? Just do what you got to do today. And it's like I wake up and I'm so tired and sore and upset that I had to go back to work because that's not something I enjoy doing. So I really think that it's a different plane or a different reality, different time. That when we're there, it's very real. So leading into that, 3 weeks ago, I had an experience. I hadn't been drinking, didn't have any of those substances. Just a regular night. I'm a Gen X, born in the 70s. Yes, I have black lights in my room. So I get in the bed, I fall asleep pretty fast, pretty easy. I wake up and, I kick my legs over the side of the bed and I'm looking at my door. And so I get up and I turn around and look and I'm still laying in my bed and I'm like, oh shit, here we go. I've been waiting to astral travel. Let's go. Let's do it. And I'm excited. I'm ecstatic because I'm looking at me and I'm like, yes. And so then I look at my wife beside me and I'm like, man, I'm so excited about it. I want her to be excited about it. So I'm saying her name. I'm getting no response, nothing. She's not budging. She's peacefully going at it. Wherever she's at in her dream, she's in somewhere different. And so I go over to try to shake her, nudge her. And when I try to put my hands on her, it's like they go through her. And I'm like, yep. So this is where we're at. We're doing this alone. So I go out and I open the bedroom door and I close it behind me. And I'm no longer in the hallway of my house. I'm in this other hallway that goes like there's no ends to it, left or right. The walls are like a dark grayish brown. All the doors are beige. It's got the old school, real dim, warm white lights that go up and down the hallway. And, I'm like, huh, this is going to be fun. So the first room I go into, um, there's this Hispanic couple, and you know they look like they're in their late 30s. They're consummating their relationship, or just having relations, whatever. They don't even notice that I'm there. And this is not like a pornographic dream because I'm not into what they're doing. I'm looking around the room and it is so dated. Like, man, I haven't seen these bed sheets that they had since like the mid '80s. The dresser's there and it's got the mirror with the white lights around it, the warm white lights that people don't. You see LEDs and all that shit now. It's they don't People don't do this anymore. And then I see like their shrine set up to it's Saint Mary. They got candles burning, pictures of the family and other things and all that. And like I said, they're none the wiser that I'm even in the room. And so I was like, okay, well, there's that. And I decide to go ahead and make my exit, and I leave. And the next room, it's three children. They were siblings, two boys, one girl. They were asleep, and I don't know. They had a nightlight on. I don't know what compelled me to do this. I went and I checked their closet. I came back and I checked under their bed, and I did my best to make sure that the cover was over them and they were sleeping peacefully. And I eased out of the room. The next room is a kid. He's like 16, 17. He's on his phone, on social media. His TV's on. He still has his jeans on and shirt. His back is up against the headboard. And like he's fully dressed. He's in his bed, but the TV's on, I guess, just for noise. He's totally involved in whatever's going on his social media. I'm looking at his posters. I'm like, man, I don't even recognize those groups. Didn't even know who the groups were, who the people were. It just, and I'm just looking around his room. He's got his computer. He's kind of got stuff kind of everywhere. And then again, it kind of fits the age. He's none the wiser that, I'm there. And so I'm like, okay, no worries. No big deal. So I ease out and I'm back in this hallway, and those are the three rooms I remember the most. I know I went into a couple more. I remember one of the rooms had like this real dated TV that I haven't seen since like 1970, 1980, whatever. Anyways, they don't make TVs like that anymore. But that was the only TV in that room. And so I'm looking in this hallway, and as I'm walking in the hallway, I'm passing other individuals that are like smiling, happy, they nod, that they don't speak, and I'm talking about everybody that I passed by is actually happy. And so, no, this is not like the tunnel of light, that they tell you about. This is still the same hallway. It's all races, people walking by back and forth. And then I come to this 9 foot tall entity that is, the best way to describe it is it's like this shadow, but it's tall. You can't make out any features like male, female, anything. And what got me were the color of his eyes. I looked at the eyes, and it had these turquoise colored eyes. And as we're coming up to pass each other, I remember thinking, man, I don't know what this thing is, but those eyes are gorgeous. And it's like it read my thoughts, and it looked at me, and it flashed the biggest grin that matched the eyes. And I was like, wow. And so, there was no feeling of malice or ill intent as we passed each other. I didn't even look over my shoulder. That's how safe it felt. So as I'm getting there, though, I started thinking about it. Man, if all these doors look the same, how am I going to get back? to where I came from. And so I started looking, and on the hallway, I see my door as it looks right now, And so I start down that way, and then I know for sure it's my room because I see the glow from the black lights that I sleep with coming from under the door and around the edges, and I'm like, I wonder if I can see that it's the black lights in my door because it's my door. It doesn't look like a regular door to everyone else. And so I come back in and I close the door because yes, I watch a lot of movies and stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to be gone longer than necessary. So when I come back in, there's this figure sitting on the end of the bed on the wife's side. It's just hunched over. They're sad. Whoever it is sad. And then the movie part takes over. In my thoughts, I start thinking along the lines of like Insidious or other movies you've seen. I'm like, hey, I can't let this thing get back into my body before me. And for those of you that know, if you are divinely protected enough to travel, you're divinely protected. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's not to say that there's not stuff out there. It's just you have to know that you're divinely protected when you take on things like this. So, but it doesn't stop fear from creeping into your mind. So I run, I jump into myself, and when I do that, my hands pop up like just the same way I jump on the bed, and I quickly turn over and look, and there's nothing there. Doesn't mean that it wasn't there. It just means that now that I was back on this plane and this time, this reality, I couldn't see it. And so, I haven't been anywhere since in those 3 weeks that I know of, that I can remember. But man, I'm excited to go back. It's one of those things where it's just like, man, I want to learn, I want to work with groups and, figure out if there's ways you can astral travel with other people that like, or meet somebody that knows how to. Uh, it's a very rewarding experience. It's something that I want to learn to go farther. I want to actually learn to go places. I just want to see how far I can take that. When I first started my spiritual awakening, spiritual journey, I had lost an aunt, and her death and passing came at a time that I had been to enough funerals that year that it took a serious toll on me. And so I had started getting into binaural beats. And the very first one that I did is called light body activation. It's a short one. I researched it. I made sure I had headphones. I was in a peaceful environment. I wouldn't be disturbed. And, the first time I listened to it, nothing happened. The second time I listened to it, I opened my eyes and I'm standing in the ocean. It's shallow. This beautiful clear water. The sun is there. There's birds, there's waves. I can see this little small island, but I can't hear anything. And all of a sudden, I'm looking at myself from the top view, and I'm watching this shark come towards me. And instantly, I'm back down in the water as the shark approaches me. All it does is it nudges me. And the minute it nudges me, I can feel the sun. I can hear the waves. I can hear the seagulls. And, I'm able to take all of this in. I go to the island. I'm just taking it. I'm the only person there. So when I step off of the island, back in the water, I'm just experiencing everything. So when I wake up, I have the distinct taste of salt water in my mouth. And man, it kind of freaked me out. I'm not going to lie. I was like, what just happened? So I talked to a few people that, they were a little bit more knowledgeable in the aspects of this, and they were like, "Well, you found your safe spot," and that meant a lot to me, because it's like I understand why I feel the way I feel and where I live now around such things with the palm trees, the beaches, and the ocean. It makes sense to me. I've shared it with other people to see how they felt about it, and they, everybody's had different experiences. One individual's face is a lighthouse, and they've never been to a lighthouse, and they said it looks like it's in Maine, and it's just like everything going on around them when they get inside the lighthouse. Everything stops and everything's peaceful. The other person, they've yet to be able to finish listening to it because they're at an old Victorian style house. They come around, their grandmother's on the porch, and of course, their grandmother has passed on. So this really upsets them when they're unable to finish. I will be sharing that on. I'm actually going to screenshot it and add it to the video on the YouTube site for Midnight Soul Serum, but I'm going to share it on the Facebook page. There's another one, I can't remember the name of it, but it is a very powerful frequency that as it alternates, you feel your body begin to shift and you actually start getting downloads and information and things that I'm still trying to understand what I picked up on it from the last time, and I'm wondering if that had anything to do with my experience 3 weeks ago, because a week prior to that, I had used that binaural beat, and it was very powerful, just to say the least. And there's all types of binaural beats, that, man, from healing to manifestation to love. When you go research binaural beats, you're going to see like it opens up a whole new everything. I do suggest that you make sure you have headphones to get the full effect of the frequencies, that you're in an environment that, even if you're going to fall asleep, that you're in an environment that you're not going to be disturbed, that's peaceful, it's important to the frequency that you're getting the full effect of it. And it's just not the same if you watch it on your phone or on the TV, because that full frequency is not going to reach inside and resonate with you. Back to my astral travel, before I forget, I did talk to one person, and she was kind of along the lines of my Akashic records and all that. And I don't know about that being my past lives, but I am interested to think that, each door might have been a different period of time. Just solely based off of the things I've seen in the rooms and whatnot. But yes, back to binaural beats, I'm going to share. I'll probably share as the first one, the light body activation. I'll screenshot that for you to look at on YouTube, and then you can go on YouTube and look at it to make sure it's the same one. And then I'm going to screenshot two more, and including of the last one that was very powerful. You'll see things that are like, meet your higher self, God frequencies, downloads, Anunnaki, and they even got frequencies to like reach out to the different universes. But it's there's no right, there's no wrong. You find one you like, you want to experiment with, I say go for it. I'm really excited. Hope to be astral traveling again. I hope to make sure that, I stay engaged in all the topics that are on our graphic, I do have a few shorts that people have sent in that's anonymous, and I'm going to respect their wishes when I go over those and keep them as anonymous. And I have one that was sent to me that is a little bit lengthy and it's very deep. So, like I said, anything, if you do the light body activation one, please, man, please just reach out to us. I want to know your experience. Even if you don't want me to share your experience with others, I would like to know. Um, I appreciate the people who do tune in and listen in, that support us. I appreciate the feedback. I look forward to doing more shows into the next show. And until then, it's your host, Mac Black. Y'all be easy.
Midnight Soul Syrup.